So let's get started. I think there are still a few more people coming and a few more chairs being provided, but that's all good. That means more people came than we expected. So welcome to the Phi Beta Kappa Book Award Ceremony and the Fall Social. Can everyone hear me okay? So I'm Jonathan Fung. I'm a professor of physics and astronomy, and I'm also the current president of UCI's Phi Beta Kappa chapter. And so it's my honor to be able to welcome you to this wonderful occasion. So this gathering, as you get from the name, has two purposes. The first is that it's Phi Beta Kappa's recent tradition to have a fall social. So every fall around now, we have a time when faculty and staff and existing student members of Phi Beta Kappa get to come together, have some delicious food, hang out, talk, and this is very good. Students, if you look around and you see people that are maybe a little older than you, some of them are faculty and staff. That means that they were once young, they were once really smart, and once really hardworking, and they got into Phi Beta Kappa, were inducted in their junior, senior year of their undergraduate years. So they are here, and I'd like to really welcome them. Thank you for coming. In particular, there's a couple people I'd like to call out who have done great service to Phi Beta Kappa. My predecessors as president, Julia Lupton and Susan Coutin. Are they here? Maybe they'll be coming a bit later. And then I also want to acknowledge other members of the current executive board. So this includes Vice President Ray Novacco, Professor of Psychological Sciences, here. Susan King, who's the Secretary of Phi Beta Kappa right now, Professor of Chemistry. And Dr. Rose Jones, who is there, thank you, who's the director not only of UCI Phi Beta Kappa, but also of the Scholarship Opportunities Program. And there's a table back there if you want to learn more about that. So as you can see, Phi Beta Kappa is represented by people from all sorts of departments, and that's not an accident. Phi Beta Kappa is really dedicated to celebrating the broad liberal arts education. So an education that consists of humanities, arts, and sciences, and has been doing this for a very long time, as I'll mention a little bit later. And so it's really nice to be able to gather here. You know, people get very specialized. We get siloed off typically anyway, and it's even worse when we're just sitting in our own rooms Zooming with people. And so this is one of these few occasions where we actually can come together from departments all across campus and be able to talk to each other and see each other, at least for one brief moment. So the other group of people here are some current undergrad seniors who are Phi Beta Kappa members. So they were actually inducted into Phi Beta Kappa in June of this year, 2021. And so they're part of this very elite group of people called junior inductees. It's great to see all of them here as well. If you are a junior inductee, you should have received a softcover book as you came in called UCI Conversations. And so if you didn't get that, just go back up to the front table and pick it up. It's our gift to you. It's a book that was prepared by UCI Libraries a few years ago, which has interviews of some of the great people who founded this campus, and it has all sorts of interesting little tidbits about UCI. And so now that you know you are seniors, integral part of this institution, I think you'd find it very interesting to learn about that. Okay, so now, in addition to this fall social aspect, there is also the fact that today we are very happy to welcome a small group of second-year students who will be receiving our inaugural Phi Beta Kappa Book Award. So this award has been created this year for the very first time to recognize outstanding academic achievement and scholarship in the first year of undergraduate study. You have done incredibly well, and I'd say especially given the circumstances. You unfortunately started your career in the middle of a global pandemic, and despite that, you have done incredibly well. And so we are very proud of you, and it's our pleasure to recognize your accomplishments and hard work during these tough times. So for all of you, and also friends, and I believe there are some family members in the audience, let me just say right now, congratulations. So as I guess should be clear by now, these awards are sponsored by Phi Beta Kappa. but they're also sponsored by the Office of Teaching and Learning, and we are very privileged today to have here Professor Michael Dennan representing that office. When I first met Michael, I won't say how many years ago, but we were both lowly assistant professors in the Department of Physics and Astronomy. But since then, he's gone on to become Dean of Undergraduate Education and Vice Provost for Teaching and Learning of all of UCI. Michael is famous for his research in the physics of foams, fascinating topic, also his exceptional teaching, and many of you might have actually seen him on TV explaining things. He's sort of a science popularizer and explainer par excellence. Most recently, he's also become famous, I hope he will count this as part of his fame, because he is now an honorary member of Phi Beta Kappa. So he was inducted into our chapter's Phi Beta Kappa just in June last year. And so we're very happy to have him as a Phi Beta honorary member. And so with those brief remarks, let me just say we're very happy to have Vice Provost Dennan here, and he will give some opening remarks on the occasion of this inaugural book award ceremony.
Okay. Oops. Thank you, Jonathan. So this is great to be here. It's one of the really fun things you get to do as a vice provost is be at the events honoring our students who have done great things. And to the students who are here as inductees of Phi Beta Kappa, you should be very proud of that achievement. It's an amazing recognition within the academic world, partly because of what Jonathan said. It represents sort of a broad academic achievement, and it celebrates that sort of need to have knowledge from all areas and all disciplines if we're going to be successful really addressing so many of the major challenges facing society. And as Jonathan mentioned, I think we can't ignore the fact that we're coming out of one of those, the major pandemic that you all, many of you in the audience today, started college in the middle of. And it's challenges like that that really take the knowledge creation and the expertise generated across the university, from the humanities to the social sciences to the arts to the sciences, working together, or we're not going to be able to solve these major problems facing us. Having started with the depressing idea of major problems facing us, I'll turn to the celebratory aspect of this. You know, for the new students being honored today with the book award, Jonathan approached me with this idea, and I was incredibly excited by it. The idea of letting our students know early in their career the successes they've had, how proud we are of them, and having them look forward to even more successes throughout the rest of their career, and to meet and interact with some of the students at this social who are kind of at that tail end of the journey, who have been inducted into Phi Beta Kappa, sort of to see that intersection and have students meet across the generations is an exciting thing to be able to do here, and to be here in this lovely science library. I encourage, if you haven't, we mentioned scholarship opportunities is here in the back, but up on the fifth floor, we now have a new Student Excellence Center where there's the Undergraduate Research Opportunities Program, scholarship opportunities, and the campus-wide honors, in a great new space with a lot of really cool student study space. So if you haven't found it yet as a place to study, fifth floor of the science library is the new place to be. Though the exercise bikes for studying are on the second floor, just in case you're into exercising. And studying at the same time. I'm not sure how that works. I can only do one or the other. Now I do have to take out my glasses because I want to get some names and numbers right. One of the exciting things, and this is this connection between the scholarship opportunities and Phi Beta Kappa, we had 16 Fulbright semifinalists. 14 were recent Phi Beta Kappa members, and that's kind of the connection there. One of our newly elected Phi Beta Kappa members, Karishma Muthukumar, won the 2021 Phi Beta Kappa National Key into Public Service Award. To give you an idea of that, the scholars who win this award each receive a $5,000 undergraduate scholarship and get to take part in a convening in June of 2022. And this provides them with training, mentoring, and a lot of reflection on pathways into active citizenship, which is part of the tradition of Phi Beta Kappa. So this is a great moment, and it's a great time to celebrate. I will make a quick comment. It was interesting, the idea of book awards is something I think that's very academic, and I love them. And my brother made fun of me the other day because it turns out I had to look something up. And in high school, I got a book award that was a dictionary. And I actually used that dictionary, and my brother wasn't sure whether to make fun of me for looking up something in the dictionary or that I still had a book award from when I was in high school. Both kind of odd traits, but I am an academic and a physicist. So I say that to say that this is a moment I hope you will look back on and reflect on in the future, and it's a moment to really celebrate and cherish. So we're very proud of you, and we're very excited to be here to celebrate this moment with you. So congratulations again. And back to you, Jonathan.
All right, well, thank you so much, Michael. So in a moment, we will proceed, thank you, with the presentation of the book awards. And I'll sort of give some logistical instructions on how we're going to do that. But before I do that, I mean, you're going to come up on stage, you're going to get something, and then you'll go around. I want to explain to you what you're getting, okay? So you're going to get a book. It's this book down here. It's called UCI Bright Past, Brilliant Future. This was prepared for the UCI's 50th anniversary, which was not that long ago, the year that President Barack Obama was our graduation speaker. And it is, I think you will find, a really beautiful book. It has some beautiful photos in it, beautiful text to go with it, celebrating all sorts of good things about UCI. Now, in addition to that, you will receive a book which has a book plate in it. Okay, so if you open the cover, you will have this in it. This book plate, I won't tell you how many hours have been spent on designing this book plate, okay? But trust me, it's substantial. So I have to tell you about it, okay? So at the top is the UCI seal, okay? At the bottom is the date. And so, 50 years from now, when UCI is celebrating its 100th anniversary, I hope your grandkids will be opening books on your bookshelf, and they'll come across this book, and they'll just be amazed how smart you were and also how ancient you were, because, this will seem like forever ago. But that sort of tells us when this was. In addition, though, there's this background. So if you look very carefully, you'll see there's a background here which has a date, 1776. That, of course, is a famous date because it's when our nation was born, but it's also actually the date that Phi Beta Kappa was started. So yes, it's true. This organization, Phi Beta Kappa, is now celebrating its 245th year, and so it's exactly as old as the United States of America. I hope that many of you, when you are invited, as I'm sure many of you will be, to join Phi Beta Kappa when you're juniors or seniors in a couple of years, we'll look forward to joining this sort of august and very well-known institution, and sort of joining this society of scholars that has been sort of existing for now more than 2 centuries. Next, in the middle there's a gap, okay? And that gap is not supposed to be just a gap. That's supposed to have your name in it, okay? So when you get the book, what'll happen is you will then go around this way, and we have an exceptionally talented calligrapher who will actually write your name beautifully into the book, okay? Given the name that you exactly tell her what to write, okay? So make sure you have done that in exactly the format that you like. And last, let me just mention, just above your name here is some Greek. And so the Greek words, philosophia biou kybernetes. Love of learning is the guide of life. Love of learning is the guide of life. So that's PBK. That's where Phi Beta Kappa comes from. And what does this mean? Well, we'd like to tell you how great you are, how much you've achieved. But let's face it, you are wonderful, but you haven't done that much. You haven't cured cancer. You haven't stopped global warming. You haven't prevented poverty or drug addiction in your local neighborhood. You haven't written the great American novel. What really distinguishes you from others is not your achievement, but it's your promise. So we hope that when you go forward in your college careers and beyond, that you take this motto to heart with you. That is, we hope that you will preserve your love of learning And as you go out in the world and you make a difference and you change people's lives, you remember this. Okay, so that explains what you're going to get, this book plate, okay? I hope it all makes sense to you. And so now we can begin with the reading of the names. So what we'll do is we'll have Vice Provost Dennan go on up in the front here. And I will call out your names in alphabetical order by last name. And so as you hear your name, please come on up. If there's people in front of you, try not to squeeze in too much. We want to sort of keep this red carpet area clear, okay? And then we'll have a book presented to you, and a photo will be taken, so make sure you pose and smile for the camera there. And as you get it, go around this side and sort of deposit your book over there at the table, and that's, as I said, that's where you'll have your name calligraphy done. Okay? Okay, so let's begin. So Christine Apostol. Melina Aurora. Zachary Baxter. Evgenia Bashko. Hung Bui. Ryan Chapin. Luke Chi. Allison Meilan Chin. Young Jun Ha. Kimia Hashemi. Angela He. Carissa Jacob. Christine Zhang. Remal Kaur. Nicholas King. Julie Lorich. Sophia Ma. Kento Matsumoto. Kyle Nguyen. Michelle Nguyen. Ngak Nguyen. Ariel Parishon, Sana Pustinci, Caitlin Ramos, Kay Regalado, Isabel Rosen, Ernie Liu, Hassan Sheikh, Brianna Solis, Sahil Somani, Ben Son, Haley Tran, Janelle Tran, Bianca Uriostagui, Jerry Villegas, Nicholas Wilson, Darren Whittree, Nicole Wu, all right, that's it, Michael.
Oh, that's it? Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so that concludes the presentation of the books. For those of you who are waiting, or if you didn't get your book calligraphied, you can wait. We're now going to sort of enter this time of just hanging around and mingling. Okay, so I'd encourage you to get some food, talk to people, go up and introduce yourself to someone you don't know. There are some absolutely fascinating students, faculty, and staff in this little science library atrium. So you might meet someone absolutely fascinating if you just say hello, okay? So give it a try. And then, that table will free up a little bit and you'll be able to get your book all done and squared away. So with that, let me just mention a couple other things. This is actually not the last event for Phi Beta Kappa of the year at all. Phi Beta Kappa does all sorts of stuff, giving out scholarships throughout the year. We also have a visiting scholar who comes every year, a very distinguished, eminent person. This year is a professor of Buddhism who will be coming in April, so keep your sort of eyes open for that. And we also have, of course, the induction ceremony in June. So we look forward to seeing many of you there, maybe not this year, but in a couple years. And we just look forward to getting to know you then. So with that, let me just thank all of you for coming. Congratulations again. And I look forward to talking with you over some good food.